Hello, 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 and welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so excited about today because we are interviewing one of my amazing clients, Angela, and you're going to, in fact, see behind the scenes as to what it looks like to work with me. And Angela's going to be here to answer any questions that you have as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do first of all is make sure that we're live and be sure to share this live stream because you're going to want to be here, okay? You absolutely going to be here. So let me just go ahead and share my screen. Not share my screen, share this live. And then we can definitely get started, okay? So we can get started. Okay, brilliant. Okay. So, in case you're new to me, my name's Petra and I'm the Queen of High Ticket Sales. And I help my clients to enroll high ticket clients of 5,000 upwards within 6 weeks or less. And I've got one of my amazing clients here who has worked with me, and she has been just such a wonderful, beautiful client, and she's got an amazing results. And I want to introduce you to her, and her name is Angela. Hi, Angela.
Hello, Petra. How are you?
I'm brilliant. I'm really, really excited to speak to you today. So, Angela, can you just give us just a snippet of what your business was like before coming to work with me?
Okay. Well, what I did was I helped people with all different manner of business. So I did a lot of work around supported living, but it wasn't my main focus. I focused on people who had restaurants, hairdressers. I'd help them get up and running, and it was a bit patchy. I wasn't as, it's not like it is now. I would charging people all different prices for different things, and
So
sometimes
let me just ask you. So you really was helping people to start businesses, wasn't that wasn't it?
absolutely, yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
And how long were you doing that for?
3 years.
And how much were you charging when you were doing that?
Well, it ranged from, I had a range. I didn't have one price like I've learned to have it now. It ranged from about £300 up to about 1,500.
Good. Okay, brilliant. And when we come, because okay, so with Angela, Angela is amazing. She knows everything about everything. So I remember when we had our first session, and you were telling me exactly what you were doing, what you do. And do you remember how our first session went and what I then said? I said, Angela, we need to have you specialize in something. How did you feel when I said that to you? Do you remember?
Yes, and do you know what? There was a mixed feeling. So yes, I was in agreement, but I was like, well, what do I specialize in? Because there's so many areas that I could specialize in.
Mm-hmm.
So it was then sort of going on there and the whole exploring of what area would be best for me to go down. And I have to say, even when you decided what I should specialize in, I wasn't 100% convinced, really. I was like, okay, I'll try. I'm not sure.
I love that you said that. I love that you said when I persuaded you, because this is the thing. It's the way that I work is very, very intuitively. All right. I would listen to you exactly. I listened to Angela. I was like, okay, tell me what you do. Tell me how you do it. And then instantly, when she told me that she helps people to set up supported living businesses, my ears literally peaked up and I was like, right, that's going to be your specialism, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. And I was like, oh, really?
So do you want to just explain what that actually is? Because a lot of people may not have heard what about that before.
Okay. Well, supported living is basically providing accommodation for young people, even adults who are very vulnerable. So they can't live by themselves. They don't need to live necessarily in a family, in a home, but there's provision made for them with support staff until they either transition into independent living or they stay there for a good few years. So that's basically the area that I kind of my background, but I never imagined turning it into a streamlined business.
Absolutely. And this is a thing that I'm always talking about. You've got to niche. You've got to niche. All right. And Angela trusted the process and she niched. And what did we brand you as, Angela?
UK's #1 supported living coach and consultant, which I was also really uncomfortable with.
And how are you feeling about it now?
Oh no, it's a natural now. Now I just say it, and it doesn't. I'm like, yeah, I am.
So tell me
But yeah, that first. Sorry.
So share with us then, when you then made the decision to really specialize as a supported living business coach, how long did it take you to get your first client? Do you remember?
I think I got my first client in the first. Well, it's certainly within 6 weeks. I got my first client.
Yes. And are you
Yeah.
happy to share with us what you would what your new rates are now?
Yes, because if there's anybody out there who wants to know what's my services, it's still the same. It might go up in the future, but yeah, I charge £5,000 per client.
All right. So do you hear that? So she went from charging $300 and £300 an hour to $1,500, and now
It's not even an hour. Sorry, Petra, I have to interrupt you. That's not for an hour. It wasn't £300 an hour. It was £300 a job, and that job could take me several days. So let me just get that back into concept. Not £300 an hour. No, it was like for a day or 2 days.
I had no idea. I had no idea.
Yeah.
But do you see why I love doing these interviews? Because this is not planned. So I had no idea. It's like £300, like for a few days you were charging. And as of now, obviously her fees are going to be going up because that's just what we do here. We are high ticket brands here. But yet we immediately started you on £5,000 per client. Can you share how you felt about that? How did you really feel about that? Never charging £5,000 before?
Well, actually, I have to say, when I started to, your first thought is 5,000. And from a business perspective, you're always thinking about, well, how do you justify? Because all through my sort of working, it's always been about how do you justify, what is that about? But actually, when I started to think of the amount of work I did, I thought it was very reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm working, I'm thinking I probably could charge some more.
Were you nervous about it first, or did you just say, okay, that's fine, I'll start charging 5,000?
Well, no, I think if I was nervous, it's such a long time ago, even though we haven't been working for very long. It's a really distant memory, and it's amazing how quickly you go from feeling nervous to. In fact, actually, one of the very first calls I had, they said, actually, that's really, really reasonable. And that's why I was like, okay, so I'm on the right track. So I guess whatever nerves there were, but I did rehearse in my head several times, as you taught me, before I actually said it. And the more I was kind of saying to it, I was like, actually, for what they get in return, what my clients get in return, just huge amounts of money. That's really good, really good. So yeah, it did take me long to adjust.
Brilliant. And how many clients have you enrolled at that rate now?
6.
Brilliant. So can you share with us, with people that are watching, what would you say that your maybe your top 2 biggest transformations were since working with me, you think?
Well, I think the first one was kind of my branding myself as UK's #1 supported living, because even though I was doing it and even though I was enrolling, I still took it. It's like I felt like I was washing my feet with my socks on. I wasn't quite ready but now I think that's been the greatest transformation. I don't think the other, certainly in terms of the information you've given me, it's been second to none. I mean, I cannot highly, endorse how you work. And it's helped me to become incredibly organized, and it's something that's always evolving. And there's a lot of things that I thought I knew about business that I didn't know until I started working with you. And I'm like, okay, I'm getting it now.
Brilliant. And you was actually interviewed on a radio station, and you happily said, I am the UK's #1 supported living coach, didn't you? And you were fine with that, wasn't you?
Yeah. And the guy Chandri went, oh no, you mean you are one of the UK's, and I'm like, no, I am the. I actually said it at the radio. I said, there are no others. It's me. I am the UK's #1. Yeah.
So we've got a question from Ihu. Ihu says, where do you advertise? How do you source your clients? Do you want to answer that?
Yeah, I do it on Facebook. You
Yeah,
know,
Facebook.
Facebook. Yeah, really. I might do. I'll advertise on LinkedIn, but most of my clients come from Facebook. But also, I've had like maybe I think I've had a referral off the back
Yeah.
of my
Mm-hmm.
Facebook client. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm. It's amazing. I never thought that Facebook, because that's the other thing. I wasn't entirely convinced that Facebook was the shopping place to be for
Yeah.
marketing, but it's a really great marketplace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I remember as well, when you first started working with me, it was the first time you ever went live on Facebook, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'd never even, to be honest with you, I'd see people on Facebook Live all this, and that was again, it was another like, no, oh, okay, Facebook Live, and I did feel a bit nervous, but I mean, after the one time, I was fine. Had to do it
Yeah.
once, and then you're okay. Yeah.
And because the thing, oh, just to let you know as well, Angela has not paid for any advertising. Okay. Every one of her clients, as I've mentioned, she's been charging £5,000 every single time. And she enrolled them really, she enrolled on one call using Facebook and one referral. So what I want to ask you, how has having a actual program helped you in the delivery of your offer?
Okay, a program as in you and I working together, or a
No, I
program for
mean
my.
your program, because you help your clients to create supported living businesses,
Okay,
and
yeah,
you take them
yeah,
through a process, don't you? So how has it
yeah.
helped with the coaching?
Oh no, it's been absolutely phenomenal, because obviously, as you know, it's been phenomenal because because you checked my program, you've helped me, even though you didn't really even know about the business, it didn't impact anything whatsoever. And that's the other interesting part about working with you, because when you do specialize, you think, well, who you have to work in this industry, no, but you didn't know, but you still were able to help me get my program straight, to iron out all the wrinkles, and because so it was great. Yeah, yeah, but you're very skilled at what you do, very, very gifted, as I always say. Yeah.
Thank you, thank you. So you've now created a program, and you've
Hmm.
been happy with what we've created. So
Yeah,
what would you say to people who were thinking about working with me?
I would say don't even hesitate. I'm absolutely, I wouldn't linger. I wouldn't hesitate. Don't say, just do it, because I would class myself as very experienced in business, and I would class myself as very mature when it comes to. But I have to say that Petra she's outstanding, and I don't give out praise lightly, because when you're in business, you meet all sorts. But I was so pleasantly surprised is just not good enough, really. You sort of think you go in, but you just don't know what's waiting for you on the other side, and it's fantastic.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Share
Okay.
with us, how would you think that your mindset has changed or
Oh, I think,
transformed or developed?
yeah. Well, certainly financially has been one of those things that I no, well, it has financially, in as much as I I kind of recognize the value of what I do more. And I think part of the journey is when you're doing things all the time, and you just think, oh, it's just me, it's just this is what I do, but you don't really realize the value until you get a coach that says, you know what, this is like really good work. So it's about the value, I guess, and the understanding. So in terms of and it does amazing things for your self-esteem.
Would you say, because I do talk about mastering, like self mastery. So would you say that you've really, really mastered your craft? Would you say now?
Yeah, I would say I've mastered my craft. I continue to master my craft, because I think one of the things you realize through the coaching is there's always room for development. I'm a great believer there's always room for development,
Mhm.
fine tuning. But in terms of, I am an expert, so I don't feel I don't have imposter syndrome. I don't worry. I don't, because I know that I'm good at what I do. But it was working with you that brought that out to the point where I was able to monetize it, and I didn't feel bad
Mm,
people paying me for what I was worth.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And sometimes people do tend to have a fear of success, feeling like,
Yeah.
okay, so I've made this money and it kind of doesn't feel real. So how have you now become grounded in terms of the success that you have achieved?
Oh, I'm very grounded because I'm only just beginning really. So I'm still at ground. It's so funny because when you start, you're like, oh my goodness. Then you're like, actually, this is just the tip of the iceberg in terms of earning potential. And you
Yeah.
realize actually, do you know when it's just getting started because I've, in terms of my goals, my ambitions, things I want to achieve. But yes, that fear of success thing, which is something that I have battled with, I'm free of that now, thanks to your
Good.
support and
Brilliant.
pushing me out to do some stuff.
Good. And and that's the thing, when you're used to earning a certain amount of money and you kind of think, yeah, that's okay. And then you've got this, thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds in your bank account. You kind of look at it and it's like, I remember with all of my clients, I always say, when you enroll someone, treat yourself to something,
Mhm.
right? Because you absolutely deserve it. And how's that been going for you?
Yes, well, I'm going. Well, I bought myself some very. I went to do. Was it Dior? My favorite perfume. I
Mhm.
bought myself a very large bottle to treat myself. And
Yes.
the next, actually, what's interesting is I'm actually going to see a homeopathic. I'm treating myself to some self-care and self-love. I'm going to see a specialist homeopathic doctor on Wednesday.
And that's what
Yeah,
it's about. That's
yeah,
what it's about. Yes, we earn money, but we also we've got so much more choice. We can
yeah,
really give ourselves the love that we need. We can take ourselves, because you've been on a holiday this year. You go on a holiday again soon.
yeah.
You're
3 weeks.
able, yes, and
Yeah.
treat your family, and that's exactly what it's about. So, do you have any last words to share with anyone online
Yeah,
watching right now?
just to say, don't waver, don't question. I would not even, if I didn't think Petra was absolutely who she claimed to be on the tin, I wouldn't even come and do this interview. I just wouldn't, my conscience wouldn't let me. But I have to say, she is one of the best things that's happened in my life. And I don't say that lightly. She absolutely is. So yeah, thank you so
Oh,
much, Petra. It's been amazing. Absolutely
oh,
amazing.
thank you
Yeah.
so much. So,
Yeah,
if
you're
you
welcome.
are now wanting to transition to high ticket sales and you want to enroll high ticket clients within 6 weeks or less, all you need to do is go to talktopetra.com, and book your decision making call with me. All right. So, you have a blessed day, and I'll see you in my diary. Okay. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.